An interview where a murderer was calmly describing his crimes. The reporter asks, "Jeff, do you ever discuss these things with your father?"
Like feeling evil?
No, I didn't, but
And today we're looking at 10 of the creepiest Jeffrey Dahmer interview moments.
Did you like feeling evil?
No, I didn't, but I had tried to overcome the thoughts, and it worked for a while, but eventually I gave in.
For this list, we're looking at some of the most off-putting and eerie moments from interviews with the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Which of these moments gives you the most creeps? Let us know in the comments. A normal guy. One thing that continuously comes up in the recounting of Dahmer's interviews and courtroom demeanor is that he seemed like a completely ordinary man. In 1993, Nancy Glass of Inside Edition was granted an interview with Dahmer at the Columbia Correctional Institution. Image and his ability to manipulate had him fooling police when one of his victims escaped. Number 9. The motive. Once Jeffrey Dahmer was caught, he didn't hold back on confessing or explaining the motivation behind his unforgivable actions. In a recently released extra footage scene from the Nancy Glass interview, Dahmer said he did not kill out of anger or hate, but because he, quote, wanted to keep his victims with him.
Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me.
His needs escalated, resulting in cannibalism. The matter-of-fact, monotonous tone of Dahmer's voice is especially disturbing. It doesn't appear to be a companionship issue, but rather the most complete form of control one can have over another. Dahmer had admitted to feeling a sexual thrill from that kind of control, and this is what motivated his cannibalism.
I just wanted to have the person under my complete control, not having to consider their wishes, being able to keep them there as long as I wanted. It's not easy to say that, but that's what the motive was.
Number 8. Dismemberment. In 1994, Stone Phillips conducted a televised interview with the serial killer and his father, Lionel Dahmer.
And Dahmer says, "No, we never touch on those things." But why? Was the guilt so deep that it couldn't be expressed in words? The reporter then asks, "What was your childhood like?" Jeff says, "It was normal. Some good times, some bad." But was it really normal? Or was there something growing inside him that even he didn't realize?
It spiraled out of control.
When Dahmer's apartment was searched following his arrest, a number of human remains were found in various states of decomposition. Number 7. A zombie-like state.
At first it was just...
When he first dissected a fetal pig in biology class, he took its skeleton home. That day, perhaps, began a fascination. What's inside to see? An innocent curiosity that gradually became an obsession.
In the Nancy Glass interview, Dahmer discusses this method eerily matter-of-factly, with the same monotony and passivity as anything else he speaks of, also mentioning that these methods never worked completely.
Could someone like you be stopped? Could you be helped?
No, I was dead set on going with this compulsion. It was the only thing that gave me any satisfaction.
Number 6. Overwhelmed. Jeffrey Dahmer's lawyer, Wendy Patricus, recently spoke with documentary filmmakers on the limited series Conversations with a Killer, the Jeffrey Dahmer tapes. In the series, she recounted her experiences, as well as relayed Dahmer's confessions and story. She refers to Dahmer's actions as an addiction that kept growing.
I think he had the same addiction to the killing as it grew and grew and grew. He needed it more and more and more.
Dahmer revealed that he couldn't wait. He, quote, needed the excitement of it.
Jeff explains that he would pick up dead animals from the road and feel their organs. The reporter asks, "Did that give you a sense of power?" Jeff replies, "Yes, a sense of control." This hunger for control eventually spread to humans.
He said, "Wendy, I couldn't help it. I needed the excitement of it."
Number 5. The taste. There are some interview tapes that were not publicly released. However, if you really want to uncover them, transcripts in all their horror are available. In 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer was interrogated by the FBI concerning a tip given to them that the serial killer was also responsible for the kidnapping and murder of a boy in Florida. He was ultimately not guilty of this.
At age 14 or 15, Jeff began having violent sexual fantasies. He says, "I don't know where it came from, and I couldn't tell anyone." Was this the moment a man fell into darkness?
The desire was I wanted to keep something of the person with me.
In the Patricus tapes, Dahmer reveals that it didn't quite turn out as he would have wished, as with time it no longer looked like Sears.
Because by that time it was fairly obvious that it didn't look like Tony anymore.
At the end of the Stone Phillips interview, as Dahmer was being escorted out, he pointed out something of interest, an equipment case that looked like the one he'd owned.
Just a point of interest, that's the type of box.
This is the type of box?
Exactly.
He wanted us to know that box looked strikingly like the one his father had found.
Number 2, the shrine. When Dahmer was arrested, he was in the midst of a project, building a grotesque shrine of sorts. In the Patricus tapes, Dahmer described the shrine as, quote, a remembrance and a, quote, keepsake of his victims.
It was my own, private little world, I had complete control. That's about the ultimate control you can have.
Dahmer drew a diagram of the planned shrine for Patricus, which he shows us in the Netflix documentary, and which Dahmer actually signed. The thinking behind it seems to have been related to control, but also as a way to keep his victims with him. It's truly eerie.
1978. His first murder. He picked up a hitchhiker, took him home, and killed him. Perhaps that day, Dahmer had created his own world, a world he was in control. 10 years later, in 1988, a second murder. This time he says, "I don't remember when I killed him, but I did." And then, one after the other, 17 people. The reporter asks, "Did race matter?" Jeff replies, "No, just looks." And when the question of dismemberment and cannibalism comes up, he calmly says, "After eating them, it felt like they would live inside me forever." The thought alone makes me lose sleep. The reporter asks, "Why did you need control, Jeff?" And he utters just one line. "Maybe I never had control as a child, so I created my own little world. After all, what turns a normal person into a monster?" This question still demands an answer. If you like real-life dark interviews and psychological breakdowns like this, then subscribe to @TC Files, because in the next episode we're going even deeper, inside the mind of another such killer.
To imagine Dahmer seeking some sort of comfort from a shrine of human remnants.
Jeffrey's building the shrine was all about power and control for him, and that each trait that he liked out of each one of them was something that was now internalized into his own life.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The compulsion. What started it all and escalated to the nightmarish end result, according to Dahmer, was his compulsion. In all of his interviews, the man spoke of his need to kill, cannibalize, and perform other acts too inappropriate to mention.
It was the only thing that gave me any satisfaction.
It was like an urge he needed to satisfy, which is seriously disturbing. This need became so heightened and uncontrollable that Dahmer found himself overwhelmed with victims and still continued to kill.
I can't think of anything that would have stopped me.
In her interview with him, Nancy Glass asked Jeffrey Dahmer if he still felt that compulsion after he'd been locked away. Here was his answer.
I wish I could say that it just left completely, but no, there are times when I still do have the old compulsion.
Hey, here to pick up my barrel.
Oh, all right. You have your car here?
No,